Hello, Bethel Park. It's me, Amy Taylor, with a brand new edition of Healthy, Fit, and Strong. We're here at Ulrich Shoe Repair, and we're going to talk to Rex. He is known as the shoemaker to the stars. Let's go in and chat with him, shall we? Hi, Bethel Park. This is Amy Taylor, very special edition of Healthy, Fit, and Strong, and we're here today with Rex Streno, and we are at Ulrich Shoe Repair. Welcome and good morning.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, how long has this shoe repair business been around?
Started with my father-in-law's family in I'd say early 50s, around 54, 55.
In downtown Pittsburgh?
They were in Brentwood, then they came to Cassidy Village, my father-in-law, and then he came to town in 58 down on Liberty Avenue. It's actually across from Jenkins Arcade.
Mm-hmm.
And
And how many years have you been at this location?
I've been here a year and a half, October 2021.
Business is good?
Business is real good right now.
Business is booming, you might say.
Yes,
You
I
have
can't
so
complain.
many shoes here and so many projects. My head spins just looking at
I
it.
can't complain, man.
You can never retire because there's too much stuff to do.
Yeah, that's what I got to hear every day.
Give me some examples of some things that you do here, some services that you provide.
Oh, we do zippers, we do boots, cowboy boots. I get phone calls every day. Can I do cowboy boots? I think.
Now, when you say do, you mean resole,
take everything
repurpose,
off, redo,
shine.
renovate the whole thing from
Right.
old to brand new. See, after you put everything together, see all this? I'm going to refine all this here, then I ink them. Dry for about 10 minutes.
And you'll pretty much work on anything that people bring in?
Anything that's possible.
That's right. So would that include...
If it makes sense to spend the money.
Right.
Money's always the option here.
Right.
If it's worth it, we'll do it.
Are we talking canvas, leather, suede, or does it go beyond that?
Everything.
Wow.
Anything. Mm-hmm. I mean, just like I was saying, he did a boat cover, put a zipper on a boat cover a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. But I'm getting up here, compared to town, I'm getting a lot of work boots. A lot of cowboy boots and work boots.
Downtown, you'd get
all
dress
dress
shoes.
shoes.
That's interesting.
Well, I think everything changed after the virus. A lot of people aren't dressing up like they used to.
Good point.
A lot of ladies, downtown, you do 50 pair of ladies' shoes a day. Heels, nobody's wearing heels. You know, they're coming in with purses. They're coming in with... I'm still doing work boots. Guys are still working. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm doing. That's why all my rubber. I got more rubber up here than leather.
How many pairs of shoes would you say you do in a day or a week?
I'd go in a week, I'd say at least 50 pair a week. At least, up here. And that's we're still in that COVID era.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk to you. I want to talk to you about the history of this shop and how it originated. It started with your father-in-law, is that correct?
Yeah.
Take us back.
Well, his grandfather was a master in Italy, and he taught his dad shoe repair. And his dad married the master's daughter, and they moved to Pittsburgh. Their first shop was in Hazelwood in the 40s. And then from Hazelwood, he went up to Brownsville Road, right on the borderline of Carrick and Brentwood. Mm-hmm. And that's where all the action was up there. And there was no South Hills Village. Whitehall was the main spot to shop. Whitehall Shopping Center. They even had a Horns up there.
I remember.
Bakeries, everything that was the spot. And then they built South Hills Village. But in the meantime, they built Cassidy Village. And my father went down there and opened that shop up. And Frank worked with him. So when my father-in-law went to town in the late 50s, Frank took over his shop. And Frank was down there for, 50 years? And then he went across from Jenkins Arcade in like 59, 58, 59, maybe even earlier than that. Then they built a garage across the street on 6th Street across from Heinz Hall. He opened the shop there. He had 2 shops going. One on Liberty across from Jenkins Arcade, and one across from Heinz Hall. So eventually he closed Liberty and kept Heinz Hall. And then I showed up like 1980, 81. That's when I come down there.
And what does that mean, you showed up?
That's when I come on the scene to the shoe repair.
How so? How did that come about?
I met-
You were dating
well,
his daughter, right?
Yeah, I was dating her. And I was getting laid off. I was welding. I got laid off. I was in a warehouse. I got laid off. And every time I go down there, the shop was a factory. I mean, there were 6 guys in the back, 4 shine guys with big shine stands, 4 shine guys, 2 counter girls. It was a factory. And every time I come down there, they were busy. And he always said he needed help. So I just said, let me try it out. So when I went down there, I was with all these old guys jagging me around till I learned everything.
How long did it take you to learn, say, any one of the crafts?
Okay, the first thing they do is they put you on a finisher. You put all the ink on the shoes, brush them, and then you start trimming. That takes about a year.
Okay.
Then every guy had a day off. There was like 6 guys here, they all had a station. And whoever took the day off, I would take their place. So I'd be doing lady shoes one day, then I'd be doing men's shoes, then I'd be grinding all day on the grinder. And then I'd come over here when he was off, the other guy was finishing. What do we got?
Hold that up for the camera so we can see the before.
See this navy shoe here? I got cream that I put on. It's called Refinish Cream. They come in a bunch of different colors. Hey, you want to see them? I mix colors if I have to mix colors. There's every color in here right now. It's like mixing crayons. You know, you put orange with brown and whatever. So where's the navy at? There's navy. Show you how it works. You gotta use. This is how I do it, anyways. You could use a sponge if you want to. So it's cream like that. That's what I do. I just go like this. Put it on my finger. I'd let it dry, then I'd put the next one on, let it dry. See how this does? This was a great invention, this cream. Never comes off. Don't ever rub off. Not bad, huh? Yeah. Once that dries, I'll put some maybe a little polish on there. That's it. See, I gotta finish the heels later. I'll just grind the heels down, you know.
And I remember you telling us about this machine over here that does the sewing work to put a new sole in. Took you a year to learn that as well.
Oh yeah. And not only that, the thing is, you have to know how to put the thread in there. You have to know how to put the needles in there, change parts. They're a beast. These machines are beasts. Anytime something breaks, you got to know how to fix it.
And do you know how to fix all the machines in here?
Yeah, now I do. But back in the day, there was 10 guys you could call. This trims the sole right here. For the size or whatever you're trimming. I got thin knives for little lady shoes. See, they go thicker as whatever you need on the sole. And that's the thickest, that's the best one to put on this. They're all numbered. So they go from 4 to 24. The thickness of whatever you're gonna trim. So let me see if this will sew now. Usually, my father-in-law used to complain, it always used to run out of thread or break at the toe here. that. And you go like this. Yeah. And you got that. See how it goes around the edge? That's the hardest thing to learn. This is the hardest thing to learn in
You have to
shooting.
have muscles and strength for that.
You gotta, I'll tell you what, because you can't go in too far, you'll hit the leather. You can't go off the edge or you'll ruin the sole. This was the hardest thing to learn, is using these machines.
And your father-in-law, is he still around?
Yeah, he's still around.
Is he proud of you?
I wouldn't know. I guess he is.
I'll bet he's very proud of you.
We talk a lot on the phone and everything. You know, he still loves the business. I mean, we could get on the phone. He could talk shoe repair all day. Mm-hmm. He loves coming down to everyone. Yeah, it's in his blood.
But I think you love the shoe repair business as well.
It's right now. I can't complain. There was years I had questions, but I'm
You
in
and
a
I
spot
have,
now.
You and I have spoken at great length, and your passion comes through for what it is that you do here.
Oh yeah.
So I know that you love what you do.
Yeah. I mean,
Who will take your place once you decide to retire?
nobody. There's nobody left.
So in all of Pittsburgh,
There's like about 4 or 5 guys now. They're like in their 70s or 80s now. They're getting retired.
okay, so once they retire, who will take your pole jockeying position in the shoe repair or remaking business?
The only thing I could come up with, there was down in Maryland and Washington, D.C., guys from Korea were coming over buying shops from Korea.
Interesting.
So maybe someday, if I could find someone, like they're coming from other countries, anybody that's going to fix shoes. There's
I
nobody
see.
in this country doing that.
I see. And why is that? They prefer to do like the funner
They like
entertainment.
to, yeah, like sitting in the basement and playing on their computers all day.
I hear you. I hear you.
This is going to go on here. This is like a real thin rubber sole. And you're going to line it up. Just like that. And then the nail thing, I could bang nails and anything just to show you how it works. Yeah. That's a nice heel. Get the pad up. This goes up and down. That's it. No, these won't go any. I won't go anywhere. I have to get the nails in there. With the cement, I'll go cement the pads down, and that's it.
Bethel Park. Let's head to the back of the shop and talk to Palomano, the master cobbler. That's Rex's secret weapon. How many years have you been cobbling for?
50 years. at
50
least.
years. And what is
yeah.
the definition of a cobbler? What do you do?
Well, I can make shoes with all the stuff. That's all. Make a lot of shoes.
Patch them?
Patch,
sew
fi-
them?
Sew, fix, whatever, anything.
You can do anything.
Anything, yes.
Yes. And how long did it take you to become a master cobbler?
Oh, a lot of years. A lot of years. I started in Italy. Now I'm here
And where did you learn this trade originally?
in Italy.
You learned in Italy.
In
Who
Italy.
taught you?
Well, I was a guy, an older guy that teach us. That's all.
So it's very popular over in Italy to find cobblers?
Yeah, they used to. Now not much like used to. Yeah,
Okay.
before it was more. Yeah.
So back in your younger days, it was very popular to learn
yes,
the trade.
Yes.
You learned it there. And what brought you here to the States?
What
To
part?
United States. Why did you come to the United States?
Because we don't have much jobs in my place in Italy, so not too
So
much
you
work.
came here for the job?
Right, not too much work. Right.
And you like living here and working
Yeah.
here?
Oh yes. Yeah. I've been here 50 years. I guess.
How long have you been at this shop?
This shop 40 some years.
Wow. You've
Yep.
been here for 40 some years. How did you hear about this shop? Like what drew you to this one?
Well, I guess I was looking for a job. I come there, they give me a job. That's all.
But
So-
Pittsburgh, how did you
Pittsburgh.
arrive in Pittsburgh? Of any of the
Well,
states
because
or
I
any
here,
of the cities?
because I had brothers, I had a father, so I had my family here.
So your family was from
was
Pittsburgh.
here,
That
and-
brought you here.
Right.
And you've been working as a master cobbler
Yeah.
for 40 years in Pittsburgh.
Yep, more of that.
What's your favorite thing to cobble? What's your favorite thing to do?
Anything.
You
Whatever.
like it all?
Anything, yeah.
You like it
Whatever,
all?
yeah.
While I was here and I was watching you, you're very intent. You concentrate.
Yeah.
You get the job done. Do you ever take a break?
Yeah, for lunch.
What, for lunch?
For lunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you work
So,
straight
I
through?
don't-
Well,
that's
nowadays,
true, yeah.
the kids, they break every 10 minutes
I know,
for fresh air.
I know.
But you have been concentrated on sewing
Right.
and patching.
Yep.
And what kind of things do you repair?
Any kind of things. Purse, shoes, whatever, anything.
So you're currently repairing a purse now?
Yeah.
Can you show us what it is that you're doing with it?
Well, right now the straps come off. So I
straps come
put the screw back. Yeah, put the screws. Then I stitch the line.
Oh, you're going
And
to
so-
fix the
and
liner
Then I
too?
fix the line. I got to stitch. That's it.
Fascinating. And
Fascinating.
I saw you sewing some shoes and some boots from Hamilton earlier.
Yes, we did. We put a zipper on.
And how long did it take you to repair the zipper for Hamilton's boot?
About half an hour, maybe. Not even.
Did it take you half an
Yeah,
hour?
Right. Yeah.
And I understand that you're a master zipper repairman too.
Master everything.
Master everything, and you're
Master everything.
modest.
Yeah, everything.
modest.
Everything they bring, they will do right here.
Thank you so much for speaking
Oh.
with us today.
Okay. You're welcome.
And I know that you've worked with a bunch of stars, a bunch of Broadway musicals. Give us an example of some of the musicals that you have repaired and or refurbished their shoes.
Wicked comes to mind. Wicked brought us a lot of shoes. Right now, Hamilton's in town.
I know, and you're working on the Hamilton shoes.
Yeah, I'm doing Hamilton.
What did
right
you
now.
do for the Hamilton boot with us today?
We had to replace a zipper on the one boot. The zipper was bad. It was ripped. So,
And you're getting a bag of shoes in later this week.
Yeah.
Shoes, boots.
Boots, probably more boots. I put rubber.
Okay.
When they come in, you put rubber on all their soles.
Okay, and that's for traction, right?
Yeah, so they don't slip. Same with movies.
Is that all that you'll be doing to the Hamilton shoes? Because
No, sometimes
Pittsburgh
what to
loves
do
their
is
Hamilton.
zipper, whatever they need, rips,
So a bag of boots, and you're just gonna go to town and repair them.
and go to town.
What's the turnaround time they're giving you for that? Because
A
Hamilton's
day.
is going on,
A day.
so they want them back in a day.
Sometimes a day, 2
Right.
days. Now, do you want to tell you about the movies?
Yes, you've worked on multiple movies that have taken place here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, all anyone
And
that
you're
comes
currently
in.
this is a lot of information for our viewers. So let's talk about the movies that you're currently working on. There's 2 of them,
Yeah,
correct?
there's 2 of them. Christian Bale's working on a movie.
that's-
It's about the military in the 1800s, 1900s. And about say 3 weeks ago maybe, I got a phone call Friday night before I closed. They needed a pair of boots Saturday morning. So they ran in when I was closing with the boots. So I had to come up here like 9 o'clock in the morning to put the rubber on them. So after I did the boots, they picked them up. And then later on, I found out they were Robert Duvall's boots. He flew in for one scene for the movie. And he turned 90. Imagine that.
He's a legend.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
But I'm doing stuff for Tom Hanks now. Too.
What are you doing for him?
Shoes, rubber, mostly rubber.
So resoling.
Stretching. I stretch a lot of shoes too.
Why would you need to stretch a shoe?
Because they're too tight on their feet. A lot.
Okay, so they buy them, they're too tight, and you stretch them.
Christian Bale, I think I stretched about 4 or 5 pair of his shoes already. And when he was here with Batman, I was stretching his shoes.
What size shoe does Christian Bale wear?
It looks like about a 12,
Okay.
but they're always narrow. I gotta
see.
stretch
so he
them
needs
out.
to stretch them wider.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really interesting. Our viewers at home will find that very interesting.
Oh, I do a
What
lot
size
of
shoe he wears, what you do for his shoes. And those are the 2 projects you're working on. Name some of the celebrities that you've worked with previously. Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
Ariana Grande.
Her boots.
Yeah, talk to the viewers at home about what you did
yeah.
for those 2
well,
stars.
Ariana Grande, her boots were too tight. She couldn't get them on her legs. So I put shoe stretchers in them and I pumped them. I mean, they looked like they were ready to burst when I put the stretchers in there.
Mm-hmm.
They took them down and they fit perfect.
And didn't she break a heel or break a shoe on stage?
That was Lady Gaga.
Okay, what happened with her? She was dancing?
Yeah, she had 2 shows here. And she was dancing and the heel broke. So the guy brought him down to me. And I had a feeling it was hers. He wouldn't tell me. So the next day she put it on her Instagram that she broke her heel. Anyways, what I did was when I took the heels off and changed them, I kept the old heels. I still have the old heels on.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's like a notch in your belt,
Well,
you know, of cool factor.
Well,
was making you cooler.
We had a shop on Grant Street. I was next to the William Penn, and on the 5th floor they set up all the movies that ever came to Pittsburgh at the William Penn. So I did a lot of movie work when I was up there. One of the guys that comes to mind is Robert Loggia. He was a really great guy. That's Frank and Scarface. Great guy. He's from Australia, and at that time he was making a movie in Market Square, and someone kidnapped his dog. That was a big story. He got his dog back, but every day, like 4:30, he'd come in the shop for half an hour and just hang out.
Really?
And before he went home, he brought his wife over, and I met his wife.
And Jeff Goldblum as well?
Well, him and his mother was a really good customer of ours.
They're from Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, Squirrel Hill. And one day his father-in-law brought him down to the shop, and we got a picture together up there, and he gave me a signed autograph. He come in and he says, "This shop is really neat. I really like this place."
You do a good impression.
That's what he said, man. I was like, yeah, it's not bad. He's looking at all the pictures and everything. You know?
Yeah. And it is really interesting when you walk in the door of your shop, there are so many pictures of celebrities, autographs, thank you messages to you and the work that you do for them.
Oh, yeah.
When you do a musical, they actually sign a thank you poster, and then you have those here.
Oh, yeah.
You have money that's given to you from other countries that are from
Everywhere.
Right, from all your customers,
Yeah.
and that bring them in just as a little thank you or a
Yeah.
little tribute to you.
Yeah.
And that's really, really cool.
I tell you, man, I got a lot of money from a lot of places out there. You can't even pronounce half the names. Yeah, it's all cool. It's all good.
And I understand that you're doing work for Sharon Stone, and you have a wonderful story about that. Can you share with the viewers at home about the Sharon Stone story?
Yeah, if anybody could still remember this, she was making a movie. They were staying at the William Penn, and I actually had her shoes in my shop, a couple pair of her shoes. And the radio station back then,
B94,
B94, was they had a day where they wanted to follow Sharon Stone everywhere.
which now would be stalking.
Yeah, that's what it was. So I'm in my shop, and there's a guy out front with a big phone, like a carry-on phone. I think it was before cell phones even. And he's looking in my window, and he's looking in my window. I'm like, this guy might end up getting shot if he keeps stalking. He was stalking in the front of my store. That was before I was opened. So then somebody calls me and says, "Hey, guess what? You're on the radio right now." I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "You're on the radio on B94." And he was out there. He actually called my shop, and he says, "Hey, Sharon Stone coming down to pick up your shoes?" And I'm like, "I hope later on." And this was all on the radio. I said, "She ain't here now." And I says to the guy, "Make sure she brings her picture. She owes me a picture." And I actually got her picture out there.
That's cool.
So he left, and they were still on the radio following where Sharon Stone is. Then they went to her house while he was still on the radio, talking about the shoe repair, going here, going there. Then later on that day, she freaked out, and she called the mayor's office. She called everybody. They had to do an apology to Sharon Stone on the radio. They almost got sued for doing that, B94. But I'll tell you what, whoever that guy, one of the DJs, he's lucky. I was getting ready to go after him because I thought he was going to try to rob me, this guy. That was kind of weird. He kept looking in, and he's on the phone. He kept
Right,
looking in.
sketchy.
He don't even know, man, because
Right.
then they met. It was a big story on the news. She was freaking out because she thought she was being stalked. It's nobody's business where she was.
Right.
That was a crazy
and she
story.
had no intentions of coming in to pick up her own shoes. She
No,
wouldn't do that.
no.
She sent an assistant to come down
Yeah,
and pick up
that's
her shoes.
right.
So they were never going to see her anyways.
No.
Yeah.
Never. But then when they picked the shoes up, they didn't say anything or just make a
Right.
story. But I got my picture out of it anyway.
That's cool. Have you met some other celebrities?
A few down here and there. Jordan Sparks.
Nice.
She come in. Sarah Jessica Parker.
I did not know that. You
Yeah.
met her?
Yeah.
Because she is the shoe goddess.
Yeah, when I was on Grant Street, I probably stretched about 5 or 6 pair of shoes for her.
So let's back up.
I didn't know who it was.
Do you know who she is now?
Yeah, I mean, after a while I did.
Buffalo Park TV knows who she is.
She come in the shop, she had a baseball hat on, and I knew she was making a movie with Bruce Willis. That's when they were down on the river.
Yeah.
And she come in, I says, are you with the movies? And she goes, yeah. I says, you making a delivery? Because she had like 5 pairs of shoes. And she goes, no, these are my shoes. I thought she was the delivery girl. And I says, well, okay. And then I was writing her name. I said, what's your name? She goes, I couldn't even understand. She goes, Sarah Jessica. I couldn't even understand. She said it real fast. I said, okay. I stretched about 3 or 4 pair of her shoes. And then, like a couple days later, after she picked them up, I was walking to get my bus down there, and I seen her across the street. She had like 4 bags. I was gonna go around and ask her if she needed help carrying her bags, but I said no. Then she'll probably think I'm some kind of stalker, so I just kept going.
What kind of shoes did she bring in?
High powered shoes.
What does that mean, like the red bottoms?
No, this was before Red Bottoms. We're going back.
You know what a red bottom is, right?
Yeah.
How many red bottoms you get in here?
I got a bag full out there right now.
Ooh, nice.
I got 6 pairs.
So she brought in red bottoms and some other high-powered
Oh, yeah.
shoes. Yeah. And what does she want-
Ferragamos. I had to stretch them all. They're all too tight.
Does anybody ever call you a name dropper?
No.
No, dropping the names.
No, they don't. They just come in and look at all my pictures.
Yeah. No, I mean like at parties and social events. Are you like the party name dropper? No.
No.
They just know that you're just cool.
See, I don't talk about all that.
You are at Bethel Park.
Yeah, because you're dragging it all
Yeah,
out of
no,
me.
I love it. Because your shop is so fascinating. And I'll tell you how you and I met. I'm going to tell Bethel Park how you and I met. My daughter went to homecoming this year, and she literally danced her shoes off. The shoes were like just ripped to pieces.
Yeah.
And they were the special heel height that measured up to her boyfriend. And she wanted these same shoes to wear to the same next dance. And I brought them in and I go, I know the shoes aren't worth much, but it's sentimental. My daughter wants them repaired. And you made them look better than when I brought them in.
Yeah.
Refurbished the heel and just the soles and everything. Super glued it back together. It was phenomenal. And I kept that in the back of my mind. And I says, you know what? Looking around, this is a really cool shop. You're a really cool dude, and I would love to
Thank you.
highlight what it is that you do. Celebrity shoemaker, master craftsman. You really do it all here.
Yeah.
And it's really, really interesting. And I want to applaud you for just being a staple here in Pittsburgh for 40 plus years. I want to applaud you just for being what I'd like to think of as a landmark, because where else are you going to go to get your shoes fixed, refinished, refurbished, completely put back together?
Yeah.
All the stars know you. All the Broadway shows come to you.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
the man.
We're on the map.
You're the man to know.
We're on the map.
Bethel
Yeah.
Park TV, do you know this man? If not, bring your business his way. So you are located across the street from Louis Anthony Jewelers.
Yep.
And you've been here for a year and a half-ish.
Yeah.
And you have no plans on leaving. You're here to stay.
I'm here to stay.
That's exactly right. Your hours?
10:30 to 6 Monday through Friday, and Saturday 10:30 to 3. Mm-hmm.
And when you come in, you're really treated like family.
Oh yeah.
You know?
It's all good.
You're friendly, you're welcoming, you're just, you know what?
Just go along with the program.
You're the bomb diggity. That's what I'm going to call you.
There's no reason to be miserable,
Yeah.
man.
When you enjoy what you do,
I've been doing this way too long to
That's right.
be miserable.
when
believe
you
me.
enjoy what you do, it does turn into a pleasure, and coming to work
That's
is really,
where I'm at now. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's exactly where I'm at.
That's exactly right.
I just have fun with the people out here now, you know.
Good.
Yeah, I do.
Bethel Park TV, come bring your shoes, your boots, your boat covers
Your boat covers.
to Rex, and he will fix you right up if you want to meet this cool dude right here.
Thank
Ulrich
you.
Shoe
Thank
Repair.
you, honey.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. These boots were full of salt. They were black, white, orange, everything. I cleaned them, brushed them, and the last thing you do is you hit them with some waterproofing. This is the best waterproofing they make. Meltonian Rain and Stain. That freshens them up. And that's it.
Thanks, Bethel Park, for joining us here today as we spoke to Rex. Why don't you stop by and visit him sometime, and maybe you can join his Wall of Fame.